We are coming to you live from our studios here at Addis Ababa. This is the morning news here on TV3 with me, Godwin Asideba, just ahead. And coming up this morning, embattled Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta finally presents a government budget statement for next year today. Also later in sports, the Black Stars of Ghana is cheered up to face Portugal in its first game in the ongoing FIFA World Cup today. We will be crossing over to gauge the mood in Qatar today. And later on the international front, South Africans express fear as over 7,000 people have been murdered in the last 3 months. These and some other stories coming your way shortly. Do stay with us. The news is live on DSTV channel 279. We're also streaming across the world on Facebook at TV3 Ghana. Do join us with your thoughts and comments. So first story, Majority Leader Osei Mensah Bonsu says his side of the House is ready to support the Finance Minister to present the 2023 budget. He told parliamentary correspondent Evelyn Tengma that the Majority Caucus will assist the approval of the budget and the appropriation bill. He, however, hinted that the embattled minister will be sacked by the end of the year.
We met at a crunch meeting, I should say, and that meeting then finally decided that given where we were, if the budget is to be brought tomorrow to the country through Parliament, and given where we were as of yesterday, even if you want to introduce somebody to come and present the budget, as I did for 2021, that person will have to be walked through the budget. And it's not going to take just one day for the person to take possession and ownership of the document, which is the president's anyway. So it was agreed that given the circumstances, we should recline to the earlier possession based on the assurances that were given by the president to allow the minister to present the budget. Thereafter, ensure that the appropriations bill is also presented to the House for approval, either the 20th or the 21st of December. And then thereafter, the needful will be done. The accounts have an adage that say kokosachi okasachre bonachrefa ote na ote na beboom. We believe in the commitment of the president.
Meanwhile, Minority Leader Haruna Idrisu has described as a stab on parliamentary oversight the decision by the majority MPs to support Ken Ofori-Atta to present the 2023 budget. According to him, the U-turn of majority MPs showed the legislators' failure to protect the public purse, adding that they expected them to support the censure motion.
I appreciate that when the minority embarked on the constitutional journey of a censure warranted and guaranteed under the 1992 Constitution under Article 82, were not oblivious to the fact that to succeed, we needed support and cooperation from the opposite of the aisle. So get it right. When we initiated the motion, we firmly and sincerely believed that our friends opposite will walk the talk with us and not just make radio and interview declarations, but they will manifest it supporting us on the floor of Parliament and in the exercise of a secret vote as required under Article 82. We cannot but feel let down and betrayed. And for me, it is a stab on oversight and parliamentary oversight, and it only weakens Parliament in exercising its oversight in calling ministers to order. That's very disappointing, and that means that the Parliament of Ghana is failing the Ghanaian citizens, and the Parliament of Ghana is failing to protect the public purse. I thought that I should explain this so that you understand that the onerous threshold in Article 82 is 2/3. The people of Ghana gave us 137. That 137 remains unequivocally resolute that we have no faith and confidence in the finance minister. Thank you.
A professor of political science at the University of Ghana, Ransford Jampo, has called on constituents to ditch members of parliament who place partnership ahead of the national needs. Professor Jampo was reacting to the majority MP's decision to back down on their stance to boycott the budget presentation by Ken Ofori-Atta.
Partisan concentration is secondary. And so that's how come I was elated and excited when I heard the group of 80 MPs saying that we are doing what we are doing because of the demands of our constituents. Their constituents said they should come out to openly say they don't want to work with Ken Ofori-Atta. Has this particular view of the constituents been varied? Has that view changed? If the constituents' view hasn't changed, then partisan imperatives or partisan instructions cannot be used to torpedo the views and position of constituents. MPs are first servants of their constituents before their political parties. And so what the party has done, stampeding these MPs who previously demonstrated some braveness, forcing them all of a sudden and making them to behave like cowards, it betrays a certain fundamental misunderstanding of the concept of representation in democratic governance. It is the party doesn't understand what representation is about. And that's how come they would want the partisan position to be superimposed on the constituent position. And so this is a clarion call on all constituents. If your member of parliament came out openly to articulate your concern, and now he is pandering to partisan dictates, teach him a lesson.
The embattled Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta is expected to present the 2023 budget today. The government policy statement is expected to address the current economic crisis and give hope to Ghanaians who are battling with the hardships. Economist Theo Champong believes government needs to review its key initiatives to control expenditure and the debt level.
I've already indicated that the 2023 budget is going to be extremely pivotal and important. 2 or 3 clear things that I need to be seen in the budget. One, what the government is going to do to address the debt sustainability issues. Because this is really at the core of where or some of the economic challenges that we're facing now, and even the IMF negotiations that are still ongoing. On the expenditure side of the equation, what are we doing to ensure that we live within our means? Places like the Office of Government Machinery, as per what we can actually raise, right? So there might be some expenditure rationalization, there might be some cuts to spending across the board, and it will really be interesting to see how deep and how far these cuts are likely to go. Then on the revenue side of the equation as well, we're interested to see what new revenue proposals the government is bringing. Last budget, there was talk about property rates or property taxes. I think we need to see something more tangible in terms of how this could be actualized. The e-levy that has been extremely controversial, but also really hasn't delivered the goods. We're interested to see whether or not the rate would be brought down, because the evidence is very clear on this, that if the government brought down the rate, is actually likely to collect a little bit more, despite even some of us, being strongly or philosophically even against it in the first place, because we think it's a bit of a tax grab of people's, savings. So those are some of the things that many market watchers, including myself, are looking out for: clear, tangible, measurable plans to balance the books and to restore debt sustainability, specifically on the expenditure side of the equation, and then on the revenue side of the equation as well, including even some of the issues about the reform of the state-owned enterprises.
Stay with us to bring you a comprehensive coverage on the budget reading. Today, government is reported to have further angered Labour after tabling 15% in base pay during the ongoing negotiations. The negotiations have been adjourned whilst government looks set to present the 2023 budget today, November 24.
If even the 16% is paid, it means we are taking home less than 18%. And if care is not taken and inflation goes up today or tomorrow, then it is reducing further. So I think that the earlier you finish these negotiations is better.
Is it fair to say you have reached a deadlock?
Oh no, for now I wouldn't call it a deadlock. I would not call it a deadlock. When you say deadlock, then it means that we cannot meet again. Then we have to refer the matter to Labour, to arbitration or something. We are not there yet. You will be there if they want us to be there. But for now, we haven't reached deadlock. We expect that government will go and seek fresh mandate properly and come back and we meet.
Does it mean that tomorrow the budget will be read, then you don't have the input of
Labour doesn't read budget. Labour doesn't read budget. The budget is not for Labour. The budget is for the government. It's government who read the budget. Labour doesn't read budget. So whether it will be read or not, that one is not my concern.
Over the years, we've compromised and compromised. There is no money is the song government sing all the time. And this time they are singing the same song, there is no money. And it is because every year they come and they say there is no money and then we give them the benefit of the doubt. That is what have landed us to where we are today. But we are telling them and assuring our members that they should remain resolute and that for this year's negotiation, we are not going to give in to any semantics, any gymnastics that the government will do.
We are receiving 15% COLA at the moment. If you tell us that you are giving us 15% and you are taking off COLA in December, it's zero. So we are not actually negotiating when you have tabled 15%. With inflation at 44%, when you take individual goods, some are at 100% and 120% and over. So the increment in goods and services is a difficult situation that we are all dealing with, not even just as public sector workers, but as Ghanaians as a whole. So it is not just about the health sector or education sector, it's about all of us as workers of Ghana.
Let's turn our attention to some other stories. Newly elected president of Ghana Federation of Traditional Medicine Practitioners, Professor Samuel Ato Duncan, says the Federation is ready to help government deal with the economic crisis. He noted that the Herbal Medicine Center is the new future capable of fetching more revenue than gold. Professor Duncan was speaking during the swearing-in of the Federation executive by the Justice of the Court, Yoni Kulendi, in Accra.
So help me God.
At a short ceremony to swear in new members of traditional medicine practitioners in Ghana, government was urged to pay critical attention to the herbal medicine sector. The new elected president of the association, Professor Samuel Ato Duncan, said herbal medicines in Ghana is being rebranded to ensure packaging of the products meets global standard.
Kidney diseases, cancers, fractures, and many other diseases with minimal side effects. If we are able to develop and package these according to global standards, we will have a lot of medicine that can support the health of the people and for exports, thereby ending the country's foreign exchange.
Speaking on behalf of the Health Minister, Director of Traditional and Alternative Medicine, Dr. Anastasia Yurenchi says government is ready to focus on traditional medicine to achieve the Ghana Beyond Aid agenda and help create job opportunities.
The chain of production of herbal medicines, right from the cultivation of medicinal plants, we can create job opportunities there. For processing of the herbal medicines, we can create job opportunities. If you want to achieve Ghana beyond aid, our focus must be on traditional medicine. All the structures, all the systems, all the human resource for us to move to the next level have been provided.
The herbal medicine sector, according to research by the Ghana Federation of Herbal Medicine Practitioners, can fetch the country almost 30 billion cedis in revenue every year if properly invested.
The Ghana Water Company Limited has shut down its Chebi treatment plant due to increased pollution of the Birem River following intensified activities of illegal mining, popularly known as galamsey in Ghana. This comes on the back of earlier calls by the water company that its machines are unable to adequately process galamsey polluted water for consumption.
Water has become scarce at Chebi and its environs, and for the past days, residents of Chebi search for potable water day and night. This is because the operations at the Chebi water treatment plant has been suspended. Pollution levels of the water at intake points along the Birem River has passed the acceptable threshold. The over 4,000 residents and their dependents who rely on the daily supply of 101,000 gallons of water from the Chebi treatment plant are in distress.
We now buy and depend on pure water. The Birem River is closer, but it's now polluted.
The river is heavily polluted and we don't know how long it will take to retrieve it. Maybe in 3 months it should be okay.
5 of the Ghana water treatment plants have intake points in the Birem River. The Eastern Regional Public Relations Officer of the Ghana Water Company, Kwejo Dase, explains the intermittent shutdown is the only way out as long as turbidity levels are higher than usual. He warns the situation would be dire in the dry season if the turbidity levels still remain high.
The effect of the illegal mining. So it means now the little water that is left in the rivers is what they are. I mean, if this illegal mining is not checked, it means they will continue to deteriorate the quality of the little water that will be left in the rivers and the water bodies. And the consequence is that intermittently, water company will have to be shutting down their plants, waiting for the water to get better. So you can imagine if it prolongs, then there will be shortage of water in all areas where Birem passes.
The Ochihini Osajifa Moitio for Repaying II is concerned about the development and has called for the enforcement of laws against illegal miners. He wants them arrested and prosecuted.
Water company was home to me my issue. Why should somebody's greed, somebody's recklessness deny this ancient town water and they show said this is how it looks like. You imagine to me into this hour day. And those who are doing this are criminals and they need to be arrested. There's no two ways about it. They are criminals and they need to be arrested.
The Ghana National Small-Scale Miners launched an Operation Halt Chamfang and set up a task force to clamp down on illegal mining activities on the river as part of plans to restore it. Deputy Regional Police Commander, COP Emmanuel Chumesi Ankra, gave his support to the task force but cautioned them to be guided by the laws. The Birem River, which derives its name from the Biremian rock formation, yields most of the gold in the eastern region. Mining activities over the years has polluted the Birem River, affecting water production of the Ghana Water Company Limited.